Hey, welcome on Men in Distress. Today's topic is the sad truths about men that nobody says.
What's your love language?
Physical touch.
I swear to God.
I never understand how women can date men and not understand them. That doesn't make any sense to me. It really trips me out that women don't even like men to cry. So if women think men shouldn't cry, follow me. That means they didn't get love as a child. That means they were told not to cry. That means they weren't coddled as children. When you are deprived of something, that is going to be your love language when you become an adult. It's funny how you guys know that men's love language is physical touch. Just like she said, every man says that. But then when you guys get in an argument, you're not putting out in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You guys are, I don't like affection. I don't like this. I watched a video of a guy recording his girlfriend. He tried to give her a hug and she's like, dude, get off me. And you guys can't even give your men hugs, massages, but you want men to pay your bills and take care of you. The hypocrisy.
Women often make decisions based on their feelings rather than rational thinking. So it's not surprising that they sometimes date men without fully understanding them. But as a man, it's your job to make sure that you are clear and upfront about who you are and what you expect from the relationship.
The dating pool of men that are left, straight men that are left, are struggling.
We struggle with avoiding attachment because we start to look at relationships as a liability. I'm going to make this one a little personal. When you are doing well for yourself in your late 20s, and you've done everything by yourself and you've never had a woman support the entire time, you start to question why a woman wants to come around you. You start to think, hey, if I get in this relationship, it might drag me down a little bit because now you're going to ask me to hang out, be with you, instead of me working or me focusing on other things. So then you have to think about as, well, why do I want to be with this person? Does she love me like no other? Does she care for me like no other? Does she support me like no other and make me a better man? Because if you don't do any of that, then I don't need to be in a relationship and I'm going to continue my grind. The problem is so many women think there's value behind their looks, and to some of us men, it don't mean a thing.
When you're focused on yourself and your own personal growth, when you're building your career and becoming the best version of yourself, that's when you become attractive to women. It's much easier to attract high-quality women when you have your own shit together. Don't think of dating as a distraction from your career. Think of it as an added bonus.
A lot of guys are what I call placeholder boyfriends. And what I mean by this, or even worse, placeholder husbands. And what I mean by that is, like, the girl doesn't want to feel like she's single all the time and she still wants to come home to somebody that she can sleep with or whatever, because women do have a deep innate need for, being social and having someone by their side. Women do look for that security with a guy, but that guy might not check off all the boxes that she wants. So, okay, he's nice and he's caring, but he doesn't make money, or he's broke, or he's kind of a pussy. So what they'll do is they'll tolerate him. He'll be the boyfriend until she finds something better. And then she'll trade up eventually and leave that guy and go with the other guy.
Never accept being a boyfriend by default to a girl. You are not some backup plan, some second choice. If a girl wants to be with you, she needs to understand that you are not just some temporary option until something better comes along. You have standards, you have boundaries, and you deserve to be respected. And if a girl can't meet those standards, then it's her loss. Remember, guys, you are the prize.
Has a guy ever cried in front of you?
They have, yes.
Were you turned off?
No.
Is it okay for a guy to cry in front of a woman?
Yes.
Yes.
It's sweet.
True or false? Most men would rather get punched in the face than talk about their feelings. Yes. True.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
No one even mentions it, lad. Men just kill themselves and no one cares. We need to change it.
When it comes to mental health, society dismisses men's struggles and tells them to man up or get over it. This is a double standard and it's unfair. Men have emotions too, and they deserve support and understanding. But society doesn't care because it's easier to ignore the problem and pretend it doesn't exist. It's time for men to take control of their own mental health and not rely on society for validation or support. Don't wait for society to care, because they never will.
How do nightclubs get away with charging men a higher admission fee than women? Isn't that sexist?
Oh, I agree. I always wondered, like, why women get in for free. Like, I think that is definitely a double standard.
I definitely agree. I think, like, there should be a men's night as well. Instead, like women's are normally Thursdays, right? And I think there should be a men's night as well.
Okay, and so if private companies can get away with that type of sexism, why shouldn't private companies get away with a gender pay gap?
Ooh, see, that's hard because, yeah.
Women hardly ever talk about how the family courts are very biased against fathers. Or I've never met a girl who complained about the fact that women have a much lower retirement age, or that women rarely work in hard labor jobs, because they aren't affected by these things. And when it works for them, they don't say a word because they know they benefit from the double standards.
I did not interview men for the first 4 years of my study. And it wasn't until a man looked at me one day after a book signing and said, "I love what you have to say about shame. I'm curious why you didn't mention men." And I said, "I don't study men." And he said, "That's convenient." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because you say to reach out, tell our story, be vulnerable. But you see those books you just signed for my wife and my 3 daughters?" I said, "Yeah. They'd rather me die on top of my white horse than watch me fall down." When we reach out and be vulnerable, we get the shit beat out of us. And don't tell me it's from the guys and the coaches and the dads. Because the women in my life are harder on me than anyone else.
Showing weak emotions is one of the things that can make a woman lose respect for you, and you perceive you as weak. Showing complete vulnerability and sensitivity can make a woman feel like a man is not a man. But you should not be completely a rock all the time.
So gorgeous and funny. I think you deserve the world. Can you just let me take you out sometime? Ew! You think I deserve the world? You want to take care of me? Is there something wrong with you? Are you okay? You're low-key ugly, clingy as f***. I honestly don't even like your personality that much. You're not even hot. But, like, I just want to use you for your body. Wait, why do I like him so much? There's just something different about him. I'm kind of digging it. Wait, like, I want him.
When you behave like a nice guy, you're trying to do nice things for the women because you want something from them. You're hoping that by being nice in return, she will give you a reward, either emotional or physical. A lot of girls will like a guy's attention, and they will string him along, knowing that they never had any intention of going into a relationship. They just like the attention and the validation. Watch out, guys.
Why would a 39-year-old guy who sounds like he's single, doesn't have any kids, who clearly has the financial resources to raise a family, invest in a woman that has a kid in tow from a prior relationship, only knowing them for 11 months, paying for the bills for 9 months, now want to compel himself by law to pay alimony and child support to this woman, even though he was never married to her and even though he's not the father of the kid, he's just dating her. This is about as dumb as guys can get.
You think that women have everything to lose in marriage? Really? Oh my God, no, the men have everything to lose. The men are wising up. They're the ones walking away from marriage and relationship. We still try. We still, just keep shooting higher and higher and higher. We're like, okay, let's try not the entertainer. Let's get the rapper, then the athlete. You know what I mean? Like, we try to get these men to commit. Like, we want relationships with men out of our league.
When a man gets married, he's essentially signing a financial contract with the law. The woman has the power to break the contract at any time, while the man cannot. The woman can decide at any time to leave the marriage and take half of the man's assets and even get a part of his salary for a few years. Also, she is more likely to get custody of the children. This makes it a very dangerous contract for the man.
There is a question about why young people aren't dating quite so much at the moment. A study showed that 86% of women say they want a man to make the first move. A different study said that 50% of men say that they're afraid of making the first move for being seen as creepy. Another study said that 20% of Gen Zers say that a man approaching a woman sometimes or always constitutes harassment. So you have a world in which women are scared of being approached, men are scared of doing the approaching, people will judge many men, at least 1 in 5 men that do that, as being harassers, but everybody understands that if the guys don't make the first move, nothing's going to happen. If guys do make the first move, they're scared of being Me Too'd. Girls are scared of being approached by guys that they don't know, but also still know that they need the guys to make the first move 86% of the time, because that's the percentage. I was like, isn't that fucking interesting?
They want to change the gender roles, but at the same time, they still want to be taken care of and approached by men. It's like they can pick and choose the things they like about the old gender roles and the things they dislike. As a man, you should still take the initiative in making the first move if you're interested. And if she rejects you, respect her decision. Just remember that it's a part of the game.
If a man cheats, he's a piece of shit. If a woman cheats, a man's a piece of shit because he failed to meet her needs. And for him, he can't control himself and he's an animal. A woman, she's on a journey of self-discovery and she had to find the truth of what's in her heart. And, and so the truth is, like, we have just eliminated any accountability on that stuff and we're encouraging terrible behavior. One of the things that 75% of women file for divorce or initiate divorce proceedings fails to recognize is that a lot of women would be economically far better off to stay married. You cannot cut something in half and have it be bigger than it was. It doesn't work that way.
In many relationships, women are seen as the victims and the men are to blame. If he cheats, he's a bad guy. But if the woman cheats, it's because he didn't take care of her needs, or he was not giving her enough attention. Even in breakups, if a girl breaks up with a guy, everyone will blame the guy for it, even if she was the one who cheated. Guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. Stay strong, stay focused. Peace.